You want to build muscle? Eat lots of carbs, period. Protein is very important, but I'll get to that later. The carbohydrates you eat and drink are broken down into glucose. A fair amount of that is used throughout the body for functioning, the brain being the biggest consumer. The rest is stored in your muscles and liver as glycogen. This is the fuel used in strength training. If you're trying to build muscle, I use a simple formula, 2-to-1 ratio carbs to protein. So for example, if you weigh 150 pounds, multiply that by 2, that gives you 300 grams of carbs per day. And then you have 150 times 1 is 150 grams of protein per day. This is a good start, a good baseline. Of course, you can bump those numbers up as you go along. Now is not the time to be eating low carb and worrying about your abs. You're trying to build some muscle. 4 signs your carbs are too low to build muscle. Number 1, you're always tired throughout the day. You can't seem to train without excessive amounts of caffeine and pre-workout. You can't focus throughout the day, and you can't focus during your training because your brain is not getting enough glucose. Without the brain being topped off, it's not going to allow you to tap into stored glycogen in the muscle and liver. Number 2, you're starving right after eating. The carbs you eat are burned really quickly to support your bodily functions. Because you're eating so few carbs, there's nothing left to be stored in the muscle. Number 3, you're gaining weight but not muscle. You're using protein for energy, which is inefficient. And you're breaking down muscle to fuel your training, which is obviously a big mistake. This in turn is leaving you looking skinny fat because you're breaking down muscle, but you're accumulating fat in the process. Number 4, you're constantly walking around bloated because you don't have enough fiber from carbs. Also, you're probably pretty constipated if you're not getting enough vegetables and some bulk from things like oatmeal. You want to get those carbs in to keep your digestion running optimally. Lately, everyone is saying gut microbiome is dependent on fiber. I'm sure it's not that simple, but fiber is a good start. But good news, when your muscles are full of glycogen and your body has plenty of glucose for bodily functions, you can go to the gym and train all out. Carbs equal more strength, more endurance, and amazing pumps. This is the foundation of building muscle. Each time you go to the gym and you train to your fullest potential, you're going to spur new growth. It may feel slow at first, but as you accumulate days and days and months, you eventually will get bigger. Power tip, if you want to minimize fat accumulation, eat the majority of your carbs before and after training. So if you're eating 300 grams of carbs per day, I would probably go ahead and eat 100 before training, 100 after training, and then spread that other 100 throughout the day. But what about protein? You want to spread your protein throughout the day as well. But protein is super important, obviously, before and after training. But with carbs, you accelerate the protein synthesis process because that spike in insulin will help to draw those amino acids into the muscle cell much quicker with greater volume. Go ahead and watch what YouTube recommends next. And as always, thanks so much for watching.